All right, hey, today we're going to talk about your intuition and what activating your intuition does. I am a pioneer of following my intuition. And so I'll give that knowledge to you guys because I want you all to have it. I want you to know the benefits so that you do it, so that you choose this path for yourself, because it doesn't happen unless you choose it, right? So I didn't know what kept coming to me today. I couldn't put a category on it at first of what it was. And then I was like, oh, that's all about following your intuition. It's chilly today. Oh, I have this on too. Okay, so what I said before, what I've said in all my videos is all teaching this, but I just looked down when I saw that. The heart, I have a heart and a cross. But the cross is like, look, there's a circle and an X in it. So look at it like north, south, east, west, or look at it as, what do they say? Earth, fire, water, air. Or look at it as Christ. If you understand Christ, then you know, there's even more depth and meaning to this, right? But when you see this as an XO, like my friend Elliot's album, right? Let's go with that first. I kept hearing one of Elliot's songs, and he says, "The enemy is within. Don't confuse me with him." And you don't have to look at your egotism. Your egotism is a total intuition killer. It's like a buzzkill. And so you don't have to look at it like an enemy that you're fighting, because if you keep trying to fight it, then you put where your energy goes and your focus goes, that's where your energy flows. And so if you keep looking at it like an enemy, then you're just constantly fighting it. If you look at it like a distraction from your path that I choose not to give my energy to, then you withdraw your energy from it. Imagine, look what happens when you withdraw your energy from, I was going to say the exes or things in your life that you used to be so preoccupied with, the toxicity, the drama, oh, look at these leaves. They're all falling around me. Let's see. I get to see them, but oh, red elk taught me that a Native American shaman I went to, Christian shaman, that when something falls off the tree, like if I'm leaning against it right now and I'm not trying to, and the bark comes to you and it's like a gift, the tree's trying to give you something. And anyway, I didn't even greet the tree. So let's take a second to be present, and I'll tell you what all these things are saying to us, right? Just get in touch with this. It's like getting in touch with the spirit of the tree, It's like the God essence that made this tree, the God consciousness that you are made out of. Welcome to yourself, This morning I was Samuel was coming into my mind when he thought he heard God speaking to him. He did. He thought though it was his teacher. So he went over and he says, "Here I am." And he said, "I didn't call you." And he did it like 3 times. And finally his teacher was like, it was a prophet, one of the prophets. I think it was a prophet. It was a priest in the temple. Anyway, his name began with an E, I think. But anyway, Samuel kept going to him. And it just came to my intuition today. I go, "Here I am." And then I looked and I was like, wow, here I am. Here Here is your soul. Here is your soul. This is what happens, right? So what is Eliot talking about when he says, Eliot Smith, when he says the enemy is within, don't confuse me with him. When we're all caught up with our addictions and just the drama of now and trying to prove ourselves, trying to get our worth, trying to secure friendships or popularity or money or power or fame or whatever, then we're busy doing those things and we're busy feeling empty because our egotism always leaves us empty. It's always in lack. It's not in the oneness. That's what I was going to say. The circle around this Irish cross is like the oneness that we came from. We come from the oneness. Even if you look at the story of Adam and Eve, it's Eve was pulled out of Adam. Adam came from the oneness. And then he's in, Eve came out of Adam, and then there's Adam and Eve. If you think of it like that, just if you don't believe any of this stuff, don't worry at all. Just look at it like a myth. Like, I'm not telling you how to look at it. I'm just looking at it as there was one, and then there's duality. There's one. And in order to get back to the oneness, you have to die to yourself. You have to die to yourself. But it's not your idea of dying to yourself. It's like, because I was saying to God the other day, I was like, I do not want to go in that furnace. I do not want to go in the fire of dying to myself. And, because there, you'll let go of all of these things, but then there's this one last thing. You're like, no, but I can't let go of that, Why not? What do you have to lose? And I was like, but what about my bank account? Whatever. What if you want me to give you resources and time, and I'm not spending it building up my work and my business and my job and all that stuff? And I saw Jesus getting the gold coin out of the fish. There's a story of Peter. They were saying they needed to pay these taxes, and so Jesus just said, go to the lake and go get this fish, and then there's a gold coin in it, one for him, one for Peter, and Peter represents the church. I'm like, well, where's my gold coin? I was looking for a physical gold coin to show up in my bank account, and I was seeing all of this. I've made over 400 YouTube videos, and even though none of this is making my living yet or anything, or if it ever does, I don't care. It's it's not that I don't care. I don't mind. I don't choose to stay in my mind and worry about it. That's what egotism does. It wants you to stay in mind. It wants you to try to secure everything in your own way. Do you want to be a loving person? Do you want to be, or your idea of a loving person? Do you want to be a loving husband or a loving wife or partner or whatever? Or do you want to be your idea of that, or the real thing, right? When you learn how to listen to your intuition and get into this deeper knowing, you're letting your egotism die. And it does feel like a fire sometimes. And I was like, but I'm scared of that fire burning me, And I just got the sense that, wait, who's the I? Who's the I that's afraid of the fire? Who's the I that's saying that? Not me, not my soul. Your soul essence is who you are. So who is that I? Ask yourself that. Who is the I that says, I'm afraid. I don't want to give up that addiction. I don't want to give up that thing that I'm getting a high from. Well, you don't know what it's like to live in your soul. Living in your soul feels expansive and abundant and beautiful and luxurious. And it feels like you're so alive and you're so honoring yourself and you're knowing yourself like you never knew before. It's so fulfilling, but it's also so quiet. and so lonely sometimes, you know, it seems lonely on the outside. But guess what? It's like when you live here, then you don't have to go to addictions to try to fill up the emptiness, because you're not empty anymore. You keep thinking that you have to keep your addictions because you keep thinking you're going to be empty. So look, this is my business card, but I drew this. This is a Van Gogh. And I was just cleaning out my car. I was following my intuition. I'm like, I need to be making that video. And it's like, no, I was cleaning my car and this was in it. And I drew this. And you know how I drew this? I don't know how to draw at all. Like, honestly, myself, if I drew my idea of this, it would be like a horrible stick figure. But I looked at Van Gogh's and I looked at it upside down. And I didn't know he was holding a handkerchief. And I didn't know those were his fingers. Oh, I need to get my nails done. I'm like, let me hold it like this. But anyway, that's on my list. But I didn't know that. I didn't know all this about it. I mean, I knew that was a chair, but it's just like, I just followed the drawings. I followed the lines. It's 11:11 into this. I don't have a gold coin. I don't have that, but I have all that I've done out of love that I've created for you, and from my intuition just guiding me. And I created an online class that I don't know how to sell, and I don't care that I don't know how to sell it. You know, I've learned a lot from a lot of classes that I've taken, but I just trust. I trust. And it feels so good to trust into the divine, to let go of putting all this weight on myself to figure out how I'm going to do it, you know, and, you know, in relationships, it's trusting too. Here's the heart, you know, just keep living in love and, you know, excuse me, trust that love is going to be born of love, you know, why wouldn't it be? It's wild. It's wild. It's an adventure to live according to your intuition. And it doesn't mean go outside of your integrity. Learn what it is to live in integrity. And you're honoring the deepest part of yourself, your deepest calling for being here. But man, when I get quiet and I go into this deeper part of me, and I let go of all the things I was holding on to, yeah, I'm seeing Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego when they're in the burning fire because they wouldn't bow down and worship the idols. They wouldn't bow down to what's easy to bow down to easy friendships that are easy to come by, or easy relationships that people just use each other for. And Christ showed up in the fire. You know, it wasn't Christ. I can understand it as Christ, but it looked like God, you know, because it's the Hebrew scripture. So the king just saw it and he said, oh, it looks like God is in the midst of them in the fire, right? Because I welcome all religions. When you go into this fire of finding your true self, you find like the presence of divine is there. Divine love is there. Your soul is there. Who you really are. The enemy is within. Don't confuse me with him. When you confuse yourself as this enemy, when you think you are all your addictions and you're so tied to them and they own you, you know, then they are the enemy. They don't confuse yourself with that enemy. That's not you. You're not broken. It's just a case of mistaken identity. You've just identified yourself as the one in lack, and you're not the one in lack. You are the soul. You're the soul here. You are the love. Every time I go there, my mind was like screaming, like I kept singing Veruca song. I want a bean feast. This girl from Give Me an Oompa Loompa Now from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you know. Part of that was screaming, and I learned to just be still, and know the divine, and let it scream, and know you're not that. I wish you so much love.